On Christmas Day, our tradition is to have family dinner. This year, Christmas dinner was over to my daughter's house. So everyone brought their covered dishes to my daughter's house. After dinner and playing games and family time, we decided it was time to come over to my house. My tradition is that everyone bring their gifts to my house, and then we all open the gifts together. And after we left my daughter's house, my son went home to get his gifts, and he and his girlfriend had disagreement, and so he called me on the phone and made me aware of it, and I told him to just forget about the gifts and come on over, because I knew that she would call the police. You know, every time she always threatened him that, you know, she would call the police on it. And he has been incarcerated, so I'm not trying to hide that. He's been in trouble before, he's been locked up before. So that's something he didn't want. He's taking care of his 2-year-old son that he's had from day one. So he definitely didn't want to be in any trouble. When the police drove up, he had fled. And as I was going up the street, I saw this officer running, and he was talking on this little shoulder radio, I guess, and he was speaking into it and telling the others that here he is over here, he went over here. And by that time he was walking through my neighbor Gail August's yard and going toward in between her house and the Watts house. And so he went back there. I didn't see what happened back there, but he went back there, and I had come back into the house to check on the grandchildren. And by that time, that's when I heard the gunshots. We just heard them like in a row. I don't know where 5, 6, 7, 8. They were just so fast. I know that the police got away with murder. I believe that in my heart, because from what they say happened, it just doesn't pan out. The guy said that he was up on the fence and he had a gun on his waistband. He pulled the gun out. He dropped the gun, and supposedly he picked it up to shoot at him, so he fell back and he shot him. That was the case. He just shot him in the front. All of his shots were in the back. It was wrong. Mm-hmm. I felt like that they actually murdered him, because it just didn't add up. I mean, from what we saw, you know, like as I was talking to him on the phone, you know, and what we saw, it just didn't add up. And with him being shot in the back, I don't care what he did, you know, even if he had a gun, you know, he would have to, if he had a gun and was going to shoot the officer, he would have to be facing him to shoot him. He couldn't be on the fence and shooting in the back. Mm-hmm. My biggest thing is that just being disappointed with the police department and how they handle these kind of situations. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's in everybody's situation, but with mine, I just feel like they did me wrong.
What has your life been like since your son was killed by police?
It's not good, because I just have a real fear that my grandchildren, especially my little 2-year-old grandson, are gonna suffer.